With those front bolts out, we can move to the rear. So with the driver's seat now out, I'm going to hop onto the passenger side. Not going to record it, just smash it out of the way, and I'll be back with you. So even though it's the middle of winter, this Australian sun is just crazy hot, so I've taken the jumper off. Both seats are now out, so let me run you through the water extraction process. We're going to start by vacuuming the whole seat, get any debris off, any surface level dirt. Then we're going to go through with an all-purpose cleaner and a drill brush to lift up any of that dirt and grime underneath the surface, and then use a water extractor with more all-purpose cleaner to remove any further dirt that we can to make it look as good as new. In a perfect world, this would be coming out clear, but it is pretty much pitch black at this point. Now we're finished with water extracting the seat. I got the main stains that I wanted to out of it. Still a bit of stuff on the headrest, which I can come back to later, but for now I want the Australian sun to just dry this as best as it can over the next 2 hours. It'll bring any more dirt that was underneath the surface to the surface, making it a lot more visible. It's a good chance to then just get everything out all in one final hit. And just one good tug. There we are, happy days. For now, let's get this seat out. And if this isn't the biggest excuse to do this to your own car, I found 1/2-inch extensions, I found coins, leaves, and nobody drives it, nobody sits in my rear seats. This is all from the previous owner, and there's just so much dirt and dust that can all be attributing to bad smells and just an uncomfortable driving experience. For this next step, I'll be using Meguiar's waterless wash. I use this product anywhere where I don't want water to sit around and stay. So for example, in tailgate surrounds and bonnet surrounds. Here, I don't want any moisture staying and sticking around in an area where sun and heat won't reach it. So I don't want to introduce any additional moisture than I have to. So now that we've water extracted all of our seats, this is the color of the liquid just from the rear seats. Admittedly, the fronts were way worse, way darker, meaning way more dirt, grease and grime. However, knowing that this was in my rear seats kind of grosses me out, so I'm happy I've done this regardless of how clean they may have been before. It's good to know that all of the dirt is now gone and a super clean car. Now, because I was trying to record this, it took me about 3 hours to do this whole process, but if you're just tackling this on your own with no recording needed, you can easily get this done within an hour and a half. And there we go. With that, I've vacuumed the entire car off of camera. I strongly recommend you do this while the seats are out because you're never going to have as much access to these areas here. I'm going to go through with a wet cloth and some soapy water, clean up all these liquid marks that normally you wouldn't be able to access because of the seats being in the way. We haven't missed any stains. I'm super happy with the results here, and by feel, they are dry. They can look dry, but whether they feel dry is a completely different story. I've gone ahead and rotated them 180 degrees after an hour and let them sit for another half an hour after that in the direct sunlight. Now that our driver's seat is installed, I'm going to smash the passenger side in, and then we can do the rear last after the fuel filter. Prevent the negative terminal from touching the... And it goes. So now we are inside the car. Close the door. First things first, let's start it and make sure it does run. Before. No airbag faults, so we've plugged everything in correctly. To change the time, we're going to press and hold the page button, which engraved above it is the clock. Once we do so, the numbers will start flashing, which we can use the engraved H for hours and M for minutes to change the time. So for me, it's currently 3:04, so we will do so. And we can press this double O button to set the minute, to 0. To make it easier to navigate, we just have to reset the page. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're done. Press page again to confirm it, and happy days. This AM here is actually regarding to the radio's channel, so don't worry about that.